Hi guys. I'm glad to see you guys could make it. Hi Vicky. Glad to see you on here. Hi Chelsea. Thanks for hanging on. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Everything that could have went wrong with this broadcast absolutely did. I got all my script ready to rock. Everything was ready to ride, and then I hit the go button, and of course everything just blew right up. So that's awesome. But onward we go. Okay. So anyway, guys, this is Gordon Hanks. I'm with Team Hanks of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. We are your family of real estate professionals in Roseburg, Oregon. And today we're going to be talking about first-time home buyers. But just in case you don't know me, I've been in real estate for 14 or 15 years. I got busy, and then I hired probably the best person I could have ever hired, and that was my wife. And then we got even busier, and I had to hire somebody else, and so we hired Shalisa, and together we became Team Hanks. And real estate's been pretty good to us. We did pretty good there for a long time. We've had a lot of real successes in the real estate industry, and over the years we've got run across quite a few first-time home buyers, and it seems like they want to ask some of the same questions over and over again. So what I wanted to do was provide these folks a place where they could go to and get reliable information, and it would always be there for just about anybody who wanted to be there. So, oh, right on. Hi, Ashley. Glad to see you could make it. So anyway, that's what this is. That's what the goal is behind this broadcast. You know what you might want to do before we get into the whole story and the whole content is you might want to tag some of your friends who might be first-time home buyers. You know, anybody who might be interested in this very basic level of understanding real estate. That's what this was designed to do. It's my heart's desire that we can provide people a place to go and get those questions answered. So please, if you have somebody in mind, just take a moment and maybe share with them, and let's get them on board. Also, we appreciate all the likes, the hearts, the wows. That's all good stuff for us. So feel free to comment. Even in the rebroadcast, if you have questions, please ask away in your comments. We'll be glad to answer and take care of any questions that come aboard. And if for some reason you come to the extent of my knowledge and I don't know the answer to the question that you need, then I will find somebody who does, okay? So this video was actually, I guess it was inspired by a question that my nephew asked me a while back, and it seemed like just a real basic question. But we get these questions, like I said, quite often, over and over again. The most important thing, what he was asking was, what in the world should I do first? So when he asked me that, it kind of reminded me of my youngest grandson. He's always wanting to know what he's supposed to do next. And a first-time buyer kind of reminds me of that. So they just don't know. They come in wide-eyed and wondering, and we just need to get them a place where they can actually figure things out. So the most important thing that I can tell these folks is that, you know, if you're not independently wealthy, and most first-time buyers are not independently wealthy, then what they need to do is go see a lender. That's the very first thing they need to do. That lender is going to provide you with a pre-approval letter. That pre-approval letter is going to give you gravity when you get ready to make your offer. The lender is going to tell you how much of a down you need. You may not even tell you if you need one or not. There are loans out there that a first-time buyer can actually go in without a down payment at all. So he's going to tell you how much of a home you can afford based on your monthly income. So for the very first thing that you need to do is talk to a lender. Get a lender on board, get that pre-approval letter, and get that over to take that with you to your agent whenever you get ready to make an offer. Okay, so I'm sorry about the dings, guys. We got things going on in the background that I wasn't aware was open. Sorry about that. We'll get back on track. The next thing I run into is when they find a home, the first thing that they want to know is, will it finance? And and that one probably won't. This is a question we get a lot. Is this one financeable? This is a real tough question for a real estate agent because we're in the business of transacting properties. We're not so much in the business of financing properties. So it's really hard for us to answer that question. It feels like we're putting ourselves out on a limb and trying to step into some other professional's shoes when we do that. And when we do that, we can get our tails into trouble. So I would always defer that question to a lender. But honestly, you can go into a property, and if the floors are bad, if the windows are outdated and busted out, if the roof is bad, chances are you're not going to be able to get a loan on that property without being like a rehab loan or something of that nature. There are some amazing loan opportunities out there. One of these weeks, I'd like to get with Ashley and maybe we'll talk about some of the opportunities right here in town, some programs that are available for first-time home buyers that are I found them to be just amazing. And I'd like to also bring those out to the first-time home buyers. I think that a lot of people don't even know. So that's one of the things we're going to be doing in one of the upcoming programs. You have to also consider the loan type you're going to be getting. A home that's in excellent condition will probably go with a VA loan or an FHA loan, USDA loan. A home that's not in so good a condition, you can probably get it with a high down, a 20% down, but you're going to have to consider how much work is going to go into it. And if it's too much work, you might get directed toward a rehab loan. They're fantastic loans where you can actually go in, you purchase the home based on the value it's going to be, and it's all wrapped up in the same loan. A fantastic deal for first-time home buyers. Well, this is one that always really concerns me just a little bit, and that is, can I just use the listing agent to represent me as a buyer? And I guess the short answer to that is yes, you can. You certainly can. The law does permit that. But wouldn't you rather have somebody who is not vested in their own interest? So, somebody who's not going to be trying to sell you just their property, but we'll gladly show you all the rest of the properties in the area. For me, I would want that differentiation. I would want to be, I would want somebody to represent me. Now, there's plenty of there's plenty of online info to help you find an agent. We're not going to go through that here. What I would recommend that as a first-time home buyer, you find somebody that you like to deal with. You got to be able to develop a personal relationship because you're going to have to trust him. You're going to have to build up a little bit of trust. So find somebody that you can actually work with, and somebody that's really familiar with the area, that knows the area, and they don't mind getting out of the office to go show you property. That's the ideal agent that you want to work with. The next question I get is, well, how much do you charge to represent me as a buyer? And I got to say this carefully, but actually we don't charge anything to represent people as a buyer. The buyer's agent revenues come from, I'm going to say this correctly, so I'm going to use my notes. The services of the buyer's agent are paid for out of the commission that the seller has agreed to pay his own agent. Okay? So you're not paying me a thing. That's getting paid for by the seller. The seller is actually paying for both sides of the commission. Now, there's going to be closing costs, and they're calculated through the title company. They're going to be different on each deal. They include lender fees, title and recording fees, taxes, insurance, etc. Those are closing costs. They're going to vary from transaction to transaction. They're typically added to the loan unless the buyer agreed to something different, like maybe the seller takes care of all the closing costs. In that case, it's going to be a little bit different than what we just talked about, where the seller pays all of it. Another one just came to mind recently. Somebody had asked me, is it true that I have to do a 20% down payment in order to purchase a house? And that is absolutely not true. That is that's indicative of a conventional loan. That's going to be somebody who's got really good, they're probably not going to be a first-time buyer, I'll put it that way. A first-time buyer is going to be interested in USDA loans. I would say I would really look into a USDA loan. If you could get it, rehab loans, there's some awesome deals on the market when it comes to rehabbing properties. You might consider that. So I guess in conclusion, guys, this is the largest investment you're ever going to make. And as such, you're going to have a lot of questions. If you've got questions, you need somewhere to go. I hope that we can actually become a source for you to do that. And we can provide you with those questions in a real easy, open type atmosphere. So you could, if you want to, just email us, email us or tag us. Drop us a line somehow. Phone calls are always good. Texts. My phone number is all over the internet. I'd be really happy to answer any of the questions you guys got. Hi, Maddie. Thanks for coming in. Anyway, be happy to help you guys with any of those kind of questions. We make ourselves always available. We are 24/7 realtors. So that's about all I've got. I really hope that you guys have a good day. And as I said before, please, if you have any problems or any questions at all with regard to real estate, give us a call. It's Team Hanks, and we are your family of real estate agents to Oregon. Have a nice evening, folks. Take care. God bless.